Hey guys, Adam from Top Dog here, and bringing you another Monday Motivational Moment. As always, I'm going to introduce you to my walking companions today. I am walking the Terrier brothers. Where are they at? There they are. Will and Seamus, or the Wheaton brothers as I like to call them. They are Wheaton Terriers, about a year old. I think Wheaton brothers would make a cool name for a bluegrass band or something, so that's why I always call them the Wheaton brothers. Just a quick PSA before I jump into what I want to talk about for our Triple M today. Will and Seamus have come a long way. They've made a lot of progress, but they're a great example of why I never recommend getting litter mates. With all the progress they make, it's kind of one of those deals where we have a couple steps forward and then one step back again. Siblings, litter mates, develop something called litter mate syndrome when they are purchased at the same time and raised together, where they really develop a dependency on each other. And this video isn't about that, so I just encourage you, if you're considering getting litter mates, don't do it. Do some research on litter mate syndrome and learn about why that's not a good idea. But I'll just tell you, it's just not the best idea. I love Will and Seamus. I know their family loves them very much, but if we could all have it to do over again, we would have gotten them about a year apart and everybody would be a little bit happier with the situation. But anyhow, so today what I want to talk about, I actually want to start with a little story. Going back to when I was 15. When I was 15, I was in a Sunday school class, and the teacher came in one day with two big 9x13 pans of brownies for us. And as 15-year-olds, we all started drooling and stuff. He had us come up and investigate both pans for differences. And aside from subtle little things, I think one person said, oh, this one looks a little bit fluffier than that one or something. We really couldn't find any differences. He had us smell them. He had us, really look over them. And they were in glass pans, so we could see through them somewhat. We could see through the sides. And none of us could really notice any major differences. And so then he told us that he was going to go ahead and tell us the ingredients. And he went through the ingredients, the ingredients of the batter, the eggs, the butter, the cocoa, all this stuff. And then he moved on to the second pan, the pan on the left, and he went through the ingredients, and they were all the exact same, except the one on the left, he said he added a special ingredient. He added a teaspoon of dog poop from his dog's walk that morning. Now, like I said, I was 15, and not very many Sunday school lessons from when I was 15 have really stuck with me this long. And maybe it's the fact that I love brownies, or maybe it's the fact that I love dogs, so it just resonated with me. But he went on to tell us, to offer us some brownies. And of course, none of us wanted the brownies that had the teaspoon of dog poop in them. And he asked us why. And it's obvious why we don't want it, right? Like, it's got dog poop in it. Nobody wants that. Well, he said, that dog poop of the entire batter probably makes up, 1% or less of that entire batter. So why is that such a bad thing? It's 99% good. And that's something that, like I said, has stuck with me my entire life. With dog training, it's something that's really important. You remember from our first Triple M video, I talked about being consistent. And when we're 99% consistent and just 1% bad, our dog's behavior is going to reflect that quite a bit. Again, a common example, it's just an easy example, but it pertains to everything, is when we come home from the gym and we're wearing kind of cruddy clothes and we don't care if our dog jumps on us, versus when we come home from work, we're wearing our nice work clothes, our dog jumps on us and we get all mad, right? We're not being consistent. Maybe 90-95% of the time or something, we come home and we don't encourage the dog to jump on us. But when we come home from the gym, oh, we're excited, we're gonna let our dog jump on us. Dogs don't pay attention to clothes, and we reinforce that behavior, and now the dogs are worse at that. That little bit of bad that we do messes up the whole picture for us. Other good examples come from any of the training that we're doing. Sit, down, come, all that stuff. If we reinforce it 90, 95, even 99% of the time, but 1% of the time we say, oh, I'm not going to follow through. It's going to corrupt the whole picture with your dog. I think, as always, I try to make these Triple M videos kind of pertain to everyday life too, not just dog training. And I think this is one that's just really easy to pertain to everyday life because, like I said with the story, it started off as something that our teacher was trying to help us understand. He went on to explain that there are folks out there that have led really good lives but have made a big mistake here or there, and it's affected their entire life. There's lots of people in prison for things that didn't necessarily do tons and tons of horrible things, but they made one big mistake and it made a huge effect on the 99% of the rest of their life. So I would just encourage everybody to, especially with our dogs, make sure that we're being, as close to 100% as we can. The cool thing I found about it is that I never do hit 100%, but the harder I strive to hit 100%, the closer I get. If I throw my hands up in the air and say, well, I can never hit 100%, well, what's going to happen is that I'm going to fall way short of 100%. But if I strive really hard to hit 100%, then what's really awesome is that I get a lot further than if I had just given up. As a side note here, I'm really proud of Will and Seamus. We got dogs barking on both sides of us now, and they're not responding like they used to, so that's always a good thing. So anyway, do your best, strive to hit 100% in everything that you do. Remember that 1% bad can contaminate the whole picture, can mess up the whole pan of brownies, and we don't want that. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope everybody's having a great Monday, and we'll see y'all later. Here's Will and Seamus signing out. What do you think, buds?